Is this car doesn't come out of park when you step on the brake pedal and try to shift it. The first thing you want to do is you want to come to the back of the car and you want to make sure that you have brake lights. That's the first thing you want to do, because if you have no brake lights, then you'll need to check the brake light switch underneath the dashboard on the brake pedal. So let me go underneath there and I'll show you where that is. Okay. The brake light switch, just so you know, it's down on the brake pedal, obviously. This is your brake pedal, and your brake light switch is directly up in here. But in this particular case, the brake light switch is working properly because we know we have brake lights. So if you don't have any brake lights, you want to check that switch. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to check the shift solenoid in the center console. So let me open that up and I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the shift handle. We're going to remove all of this stuff inside here so we can gain access to the relay down inside here. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to put your parking brake on, take off the shifter knob, and this just unscrews all the way off. You just take it out and take it off. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to open up your glove box. We're going to take out the console here so we can gain access to it. We're going to gain access to the shifter. And the way you do that is you get in here with a little screwdriver and you just pry it. It comes right out and you can just take that off to the side. What we need to do is we need to get in over here. So we'll take this. This just pulls up also. And we'll take that out. And we need to get into the solenoid, which is down in this area here. So we're going to take off the top here. And the way you do that is right on the side over here. There's a little clip right there. You just lift it out very slightly and you hear it pop up just a little bit. Same thing over here. Very gently, because you don't want to break it. We're going to have to reuse this. Alright, pops off there. And then we just lift it up and off. And the piece that we need to get to is down inside here on the very bottom. It's this piece right down there. That's the shift relay, or I'm sorry, shift solenoid. And now we're going to check the power and ground to see if it's a problem in the shift solenoid or if it's a wiring problem. So let me grab my test light and I'm going to get started. Okay, now that we have the console opened up so we can gain access to it, I'm going to show you how to check it. Right now the switch is working properly because I'm stepping on the brake and releasing it, and the switch is working properly. The problem with this car is that the failure is intermittent. Sometimes they'll come out, step on it, and there's no clicking taking place inside here. So now it's working. So we're going to check a few things just to see. First thing you want to do is you want to have the key in the on position, all your lights on the dashboard lit up, and now it's not working again. Okay. What we want to do is we want to check the shift solenoid, which is actually right down inside here. After I check the wiring diagram, I find that the wire I need is actually, it's a black wire, and the other one is a blue with a red tracer, which is right on the side right over here. What you want to do is you want to, when it's not working of course, check this wire. The black is a ground and it's a constant ground. The blue with the red tracer is supposed to have power when you apply the brake. So what we're going to do is we're going to check now and we're going to see if there's power going to that wire. Again, you have to check that when the solenoid is not working. So what I normally do is just grab my my trusty power probe, and then we bring power. I'm going to put you down for 1 second. Alright, what I do is I get on there with a power probe, and then if you bring power into it, you should hear the relay clicking with a solenoid. And you can see the solenoid is clicking when I bring power into it. So now we know that the solenoid is working properly, because when I step on the brake, pedal, nothing happens. Nothing happens when I step on the brake pedal. When I bring power into it with the power probe, it starts to work. So the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to follow the wiring diagram. It goes back up into the passenger side junction box. So let me get the glove box down, and I'll show you, the instrument panel down on the bottom, and I'll get right back to you. Okay, what I did is I looked on the wiring schematic, and what it shows here is that number 24 is the shift lock relay. And when you come up to the top of the page here, it shows you that the shift lock relay is built into the passenger junction box. So this box underneath the passenger side by the glove box is where the relay is mounted in, and it's a non-serviceable item. So let me just lower that down, take a look at it, and we'll be right back. Alright, this is the passenger side, and this is where just so you know, this is the glove box right here. And down underneath here, once you take this cover off, you'll be able to see this, and you can pull this box down. This just pulls down with these two little screws on both sides. As I found out when I lowered it down, that the shift lock does not work when I step on the brake. But when I tap on the box, you'll hear the relay click, and now it's working again. So that tells me that the relay inside this box is no good. We need to replace this passenger side junction box assembly. So let's get some prices on it, and we'll see where we go. Okay, looking at it from underneath the passenger side right now, we can see that this is the box itself. We're going to remove it, and we're going to replace it with the new one. Not a cheap job. This part costs $800 for the part and a few hours in labor. So by the time we're done, we're looking at $1,200 job, something like that. Okay, so the options we have is to either replace the relay with the new one. Like I said, the relay is part of the junction box itself, but we are able to remove the relay and then cut the wiring and solder it onto an external relay. The other option we have is to get one second-hand in a scrapyard. So let me discuss it with the customer, decide what he's going to do, and then we'll come back and we'll put this job back together. Okay, well, we discussed it with the customer, and the customer decided that he wanted to go with a used part from a recycling yard or a junk yard. So as soon as the part comes in, we'll come back, we'll put it together, and we'll get this job out the door, and then on to the next one. So let me show you how to take it out. It's basically fairly simple. You're just going to remove these electrical connectors. Pull it forward a little bit so we can gain access to it. And then we're going to remove it. Alright, pull this out. Same thing here. Just push it down. And pull it right out. Same thing up here. Unplug it here. And then we're out. And you just lift it up and out of the car. And I'm going to put you down for a second because I got to unplug these. Let's try it. Alright, just lift up and out. And that one, same thing here. Push it and push it. And that's it. So we got to change this whole assembly because it's actually built right inside there. So let me grab the new one and we'll put it in. Okay, now that we got our new junction box, we're going to put it back up inside there. I'm going to put the camera down because you're not going to be able to see much of anything because I got to get underneath there with two hands. But I'm going to reattach all of the electrical connectors and then we'll come right back. Okay, now that we have everything put back up the way it belongs, we have all the electrical connectors plugged back in and the lock tabs locked in place. We lift the box back up into its position and put the pins back in, and we'll get that up and out of the way. Okay, that's it. Now the testers, let's go around the other side and we'll check and make sure it works. Okay, here's the test. We turn the key to the on position. Alright, now when you step on the brake, we'll see how it is. Alright, perfect. Alright, let me just get the rest of the tools and I'll start putting the console back together. I'll show you how that goes. But in the meantime, before I do anything, I'm going to put this cover back up underneath here. Basically all it is it just pushes up and you snap those clips back in place. So let me get that done and then we'll come back and we'll reassemble the shifter console. Alright, and you should hear it clicking. You can hear it clicking just the way it's supposed to. So as you can see, replacing the shifter and taking care of the problem with the shifter not coming out of gear properly is really not that bad. The factory part is really kind of expensive, but if you went with an aftermarket or you soldered in that relay that we talked about, it'll work perfectly. Alright, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.